to be here.
The chat eating itself alive waiting for you to get out here and talk about this game, so you better bring your A game.
Yes, sir. We'll do our best.
We're very excited about the announcements, and this is the first time you can actually come out and play NBA 2K16 in the United States, so we've been chatting with fans, and they're losing their minds over the gameplay, right?
Why'd you turn your back on your home country and make USA last?
You know, we gotta save the best for last.
That's
that answer.
Yep. We brought freedom, Colin.
Yeah. Right.
Ronnie, what's happening this year? What are the big talking points?
It's so much, right? We've already announced 2K Pro-Am. That was our first like big kind of thing, and then the gameplay is another level. That's what everybody's so excited. We actually released a gameplay trailer today. Our dev team, did a wonderful job of doing this interview and talked about all of the new changes. We really recommend you guys to check it out.
After this is over, we're streaming all day. Don't leave.
Yep. Check it out at 5 p.m. Right?
Exactly.
That's
5
exactly
p.m.
right.
when we wrap here.
5:01. Just to be safe.
Just to be safe.
Just to be safe.
Give us a little bit of buffer. I mean, include going to youtube.com/kindafunny. Of course, Kinda Funny Games. Go watch all that content. Then go watch this trailer.
Okay. So like maybe 6:30.
You know what? Just wait for the game to come out in September. Why are you trying to ruin it for yourself?
That's right.
Greg, you're kind of funny.
Thank you. See? I
Yeah.
set the bar low.
Yeah,
Sometimes I go over it.
So I want to ask you guys this because I'm fascinated with your game in the sense that it dominates. People love the series. They love it.
Yeah.
And it scores well and it sells well and it's on the charts every month and people just eat it up. So like what keeps you guys working harder and harder? Because at some point you have to kind of sit back and look and be like, we kind of nailed it. Like I don't know, like what are we supposed to do? Like what kind of challenges you guys at the studio to keep going?
I think it never is that attitude of we've nailed it, right? Like we always want to improve. The dev team always wants to improve. We listen to our community, right? They're a very vocal, passionate community, and I love that about our community. So, you know, looking at everything that we can improve and take to another level, like we're thinking always forward and how to make everything really crazy. Like Spike Lee coming into my career, right? Take this amazing storyteller, put that narrative in an amazing mode that everybody plays, bring it to another level. So little things like that, I think, really help make this series special.
Yeah, it's all about the passion, right? Our dev team just works really hard. Chris and I were talking about like how we're having conversations constantly with them. They're having those conversations as well. They're listening to the fans, and I think that's what our fans so much appreciate.
So now you brought it up. I want to talk. Where does Spike Lee start? Did he already talk to you, or were you guys in a meeting and like, how are we going to change up my story, guys?
Yeah,
like Spike Lee.
Yeah, I think he's got such a great basketball acumen, right? So he was just the natural fit. He's done so many great films over the years, and but the funny thing about it was like, how do you marry the world of movie making and video game making, right? And to kind of see that come together. It's really, really exciting. We actually, for the managers yesterday, we showed off the first behind-the-scenes clip of, and people lost their mind. Like, it looks so real life, and we're going to have a trailer on my career in a couple weeks, and I think it's really going to blow people away.
How hands-on was he? I mean, does he get to tell?
Oh yeah, you know, he had to be. Like he had to be on that show. But again, it was like people were in mocap suits, and like we were capturing their heads. And but then there's the video game world, right? And like just marrying those two things, the way that they want to shoot each of those worlds. It was really interesting to see, and it came out great.
Produced, wrote, and directed the film, so you know that narrative aspect, which is attaching itself to what the dev team has been building, which is going to be my career, our biggest mode, right? So it's not just this amazing storyline, but stuff that we're going to be talking about in a couple weeks. That's going to, I think, really excite people.
Yeah, it's really about the world of basketball, right? It's not just about what you do on the court; it's about building out from there. So we're going to get into that in a couple weeks.
You guys have been good at that for a long time. Like you've done that, you know what I mean, where it wasn't just what's happening on the court. You do that and stuff. Like I guess really, is that one of the aspects you feel you're able to build on year over year? Because again, even though you're being humble about it, you play the game, you watch the game, and I mean, I feel like it's been 4 or 5 years of watching this game where you could walk by a TV playing. You're like, is that a real? No, that's a game.
There's so much more we want to do with career. I mean, the sky's really the limit. The life of a basketball player, we can really go anywhere with that. And that's what Spike really brought for us. He's like, this is the vision that I have for this year. So, very exciting.
On top of all the amazing gameplay, like you said, right? Like our gameplay team has been working nonstop, 24/7. They're awesome. I don't know. It blows my mind.
So much respect.
We see things like these small things, like a player goes to dunk, and you see the basketball stanchion this year, kind of rattle around. It's like you see that shaking. It's like the normal player is not going to see that, but that's the level of detail we put.
It's one of those things I think a lot of times in this game, the normal player won't see that, but they'll sense it, feel it. You know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
It'll be that thing of like, this looks like a real game because of those little touches.
For sure. It's all the little things, you know, little things, big things, everything.
The little things add up into that big presentation feel. Well, one thing that's little that we did this year was we implemented body scans for the first time. So there's a lot more NBA different body styles.
Nice.
And you don't think about that very much, but then when you see 10 guys on the court and them looking different and moving together and like that whole world working, it just looks so much better.
How do you guys balance, I'm always fascinated with this with sports games and sports development especially, how do you balance all of these SKUs and even generations, because you're still, I presume this year, supporting the old consoles as well as the new consoles. So how do you prioritize things you want to fix, and how do you prioritize those things? Because I'm sure those games probably still sell well to people that own a PS3 or an Xbox.
Yeah, a lot of the gameplay stuff is implemented into the last-gen systems. And then the presentation stuff can definitely wrap into that. But there's certain things that we're just a little bit kind of confined by with the next-gen technology. Facial scans, head scans, we just talked about the cutscenes in career. We had capped it to the previous gen, but that doesn't mean that we can't, bring in gameplay and also these legendary teams that we're going to talk about in a second.
Yes.
Talk about them now.
Let's talk about them now.
You made your own.
I did a segue.
Second, and it was a second, and I was going to talk.
I apologize. I forgot how time works.
So we like to not only look forward with the franchise of NBA 2K, but we like to look to the past. So you guys are going to see some of the teams that we've announced that are new historic teams coming to this year in NBA 2K16. I think we got a graphic up that's coming.
There it is.
There it is.
We got a lot of exciting teams. Ronnie, what are some of your favorites? Because I know there's a couple that we've discussed before.
Yeah, that 03-04 Pistons team with all the guys on that team.
Yep.
I love that Houston Rockets team. T-Mac, Yao, Shane Battier. That was such a great team, too.
And as a big Lakers
Vince
fan,
Carter, yeah.
As a big Lakers fan, I wasn't going to let them add more historic teams without adding the 15-1 2000-2001 Los Angeles Lakers, arguably the greatest team in playoff history.
So Chris would have cried if that didn't happen,
That's
by the
right.
way. He would have openly weeped.
Literally.
You can't do that to him. He's too pretty. He's too cute.
Absolutely. I didn't
so,
care about that.
in previous years, we had 30+ classic teams, and we're now we've added an extra 12. So there were the 8 right there.
Right.
We're going to announce 2 more today.
Right
so
now.
let's get into it.
Really?
Let's announce 2 exclusive
One of
teams
by the way,
for the first
one of them I have been blasted on social media like every 5 seconds.
Whoa.
That 05-06 Miami Heat team, just everybody has been on top of it, and it's because we had already announced one Heat team, so they're like, oh, we're only gonna get one. We wanted that older team. Well, you got it, right?
And then one of the most fun teams to watch, you know, the 24 seconds or less team, the Phoenix Suns, of course, from 2004, 2005. Steve Nash in his prime. Unbelievable Phoenix Suns team that was just really fun to watch, and it's going to be really fun to see the players play as, because they're up and down a high tempo. Really kind of accommodates some of our user bases.
That team's probably the best team that never won a championship, or one of them in the last 15 years.
Here's the thing. I opened up my phone.
Yes.
So that's why I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
Dom's.
I thought you were just ignoring.
No,
me.
I wanted to watch the reaction. I wanted a reaction, and so far it's good.
Awesome.
And John Wall, yes. Joseph 81800, yes.
Yes.
Kobe Bryant 314, yes. So you're doing fine. Everybody seems pretty.
that's good.
This is hyping me in. Everybody's
A
excited.
little loud in the headphones, Greg. A little loud in the headphones. Oh,
whoa.
That's not fair. All right, so I want to ask you guys a question about presentation. You talk about the great presentation of these games. You guys nailed this presentation. Yep. One of the things I look at when I play my different sports games is the stadiums, or in this case, the arenas. Mm-hmm. How do you capture the authenticity of, say, Barclays Center or something like that?
Oh, good question.
Do you guys go there and kind of scope it out and figure those things out and try to deliver that kind of realism? Tell me a little bit about that process, because I love that.
Basically, is this game an excuse for you to go to every NBA?
You know, I think it's a testament to how incredibly hard our developers work. Like, scanning every player in the league, you know, they're hanging out in hotel, lobbies waiting for the players and stuff. And to do that immense amount of work and traveling during an NBA season when these players are so busy anyway, it's really just a testament to how hard our devs work. But we look at everything that is involved in basketball and how we make the most authentic NBA presentation. And that's what I think we try to pride ourselves on. So anytime we can get detail-oriented with anything from a presentation standpoint, we try to. And I think you're going to see some new things, and we'll be talking about more presentation stuff. I know it's my favorite line. Talk more soon, but we'll have some nice presentation stuff that we're going to be discussing in the near future.
And I had to get Barclays Center in there.
I noticed. I appreciated it.
No, it's just how
you got to roll. You got to roll.
Yeah.
How many more things do you have up your sleeve to talk about? Because the game comes out in September. It's not that far off.
September 25th. If you pre-order, you get it 4 days early, which is pretty awesome.
The funny thing is, what's your catchphrase for release date? Because it could be Christmas in September. I'm just saying.
I actually kind of like that.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, that was a freebie.
It's not too late.
That was a freebie.
Yeah.
We got to start figuring out how we're going to get our, our girlfriends and our wives. We got to find the excuses. Work.
Yeah, that early tip-off weekend.
How are we going to be able to completely ignore everything in life?
Honey, it's Christmas in September.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine getting the game on Friday and you got to jack up your My Career guy and like? Girlfriends are gonna cease to exist. But back to your question, we still got a lot to talk about actually. We haven't shown off, career stuff obviously with Spike. We haven't showed off a bunch of stuff with my team, with Parks. And we got a little bit more to talk about with Pro-Am. So lots to go. It's gonna be just assets after assets. So we're really excited.
I think fans are gonna be extremely excited about what we're doing with My Career, and then it extends off into 2K Pro-Am where you can play and create your own team and stuff. So there's a lot of exciting stuff.
Yeah.
What is the, again, as I mentioned earlier on in our talk here, I'm always impressed seeing this game on NPD just every month, just forever. It's just forever on the NPD chart. So what's the long game for NBA 2K16? Can people expect like a significant amount of support after the game's launched?
Absolutely.
Sure.
So last year, for example, I referenced Parks. There was a months-long tournament within the parks. All the parks were battling out the affiliations, and the payoff was a new park, right? And that new park was revealed in February, March, whatever. So we're always doing it, and then with the playoff content, it's super important. Like the playoffs are in April, and we got to continue to support that. Oh, look at that guy.
Hey, Robert Ory's here at the GameStop Expo signing autographs right now, and there's your first exclusive screen of an historic player. Big shot, Robert Ory. I know Kings fans are going to hate him, but you know what?
Respect.
Great moment.
Respect.
And also Dominique Wilkins. So you can see the attention to detail even on the historic players, and Dominique doing that signature cockback jam. So some really nice stuff there.
The human highlight film.
As a sports fan, I'm just I really do this. I think this series has kind of really earned its reverence.
Oh yeah.
Just as a sports fan that loves the minutia and the history of these games. In these leagues, it's so cool to see a developer really pay close attention.
Well, I mean, that's what Ronnie, I feel like, has been working on this game forever. I mean, I'm sure you have too. But Ronnie's Ronnie. Everybody knows him, and he's out there, talking about this game year after year. And it seems like when you guys, you've been making great games forever, and you jumped to prominence when you're like, let's go off the nostalgia that people had about the Jordan era, this era, all these different things. Like now that you have all that goodwill, you have, everybody behind you that you want to see what you do next year.
I think we're all students of the game.
Yeah.
And the developers, again, a testament to them for creating these players that some people weren't even born when these guys were finishing their careers.
Yeah, seriously.
It's just the level of love and the passion that our development team has. I mean, we owe a lot to them.
It is a labor of love. It's all of the details, and you guys asked really great questions about like being able to go to the arenas and see all the players. Yeah, you guys did a good job.
Thank you.
But we are so blessed to work with such a strong team that really wants to push the envelope. I've been saying for years, I think I've said it to you, Greg, like 2K11, I was like, how are we going to do better than this?
Yeah.
And then every single year we figured out something, right? So we'll figure this out. We'll worry about 2K17 in a few weeks.
Real question right before we wrap. Quick answers. NBA Finals predictions.
Oh, this season?
Yep.
I think it's going to be Spurs over Cavs. He's going to have the Lakers winning it all.
Cavs winning it all, Clippers in the Western Conference Finals.
That's good.
I hope you're right. I'd like to see the Cavs win a championship with LeBron back for sure.
Yeah, that's a good
Ladies
call.
and gentlemen in the chat, let us know who you think is going to win the NBA championship. Ronnie, Chris, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Pleasure.
NBA 2K16, of course, comes out September 25th. Christmas in September. Started trending. Get it hashtag, everything else. Ladies and gentlemen, we have so much more here at GameStop Expo. Don't go anywhere. The live stream rolls on next with Little Orbit and a whole bunch of cool games.
Stop now. Keep your hands up, get them in the sky for the homies that ain't making it in my folks locked down. I never went nowhere. What they say call it looting. Can't never count me out, y'all better count me in. Make millions every year, the South's champion. Cause all I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say there.
I hung with the worst of them. Bust till I burst them up. Floss them up, toss them up. Harder one, close them up. Pardon me, I'm bossing up. Brace you up, bless you, bro. Don't mess with us. We like the U in the 80s. Back to back, set a track. Hit the lick, get it back. Get the trick, jump the track. I want my money back. Time and time again while I'm sipping on this. Al Davis said it best. Just win, baby, win.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there.
Hi, everyone. This has been an extremely tough decision. Each school was carefully considered, but I have finally decided to choose. I've decided to go to the great University of